Have you ever ate dots, the candy?
Oh God, I hate dots.
I
They
remember uh they say a funny thing. It's like dogs how they have those two sharp teeth.
mm,
Put dots on both of them, just like have them go crazy.
mm. Welcome to the finest hour of talk radio you have ever experienced. My name is Rockefeller Jones. You can call me Rock for short. I'm on a mission to show the world the three things I've been blessed with: a voice, a microphone, and a highly profiled opinion. This is for the chill people, the 9-to-5ers, the trendsetters, and all that's in between. Get cozy and strap on in, and welcome to the Rock Jones Project. Cue the music. Really? Yeah. I feel like my machine wants to work against me. I don't appreciate that. Shout out to the sloppy Joe I had before I jumped on. Did you get some?
Oh, yes sir.
You know, dude, that sloppy Joe shouldn't have been like that.
Yes sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, and all that's in between. This is Heart of Stone, Mr. Rockefeller Jones here with another episode of the Rock Jones Podcast. Project. It's Project. I don't know the name of my show. I've been doing, 8 episodes? And I always butcher my intro. Need like a teleprompter right here. So on this episode, I am joined by a very special guest here. I really believe he's the unpaid spokesperson for Crocs.
Oh, yes sir.
Yeah, unofficial spokesperson.
Yes sir.
Lover of all things Andy Mineo. Don't
There we
argue
go.
this man down. He will hand you these hands.
Yeah. Yes sir. Yes sir.
My beloved brother and cousin, Josh Walker.
What's up, brother? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all?
Thank you for joining me on this latest episode or episode period, depending on how far back you are. Again, thank you.
Hey, thanks for having me, bro.
Oh, I greatly appreciate it. So, tell the lovely people about yourself.
Man, where do I begin? So
The beginning.
let's do it. All right. I'm Josh. More notably known as Yesh.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that's the biggest thing. Yesh, Yesh. Like we said before, I love Crocs. I love Andy Mineo. I love MMA. I love wrestling, amateur and pro wrestling. I just live life to the fullest, yo.
It took a lot to get there.
Man, it took everything to get there, but you know what? I'm here.
In the flesh.
I'm here.
So, what did you do today?
Man,
How was your pre-Rock Jones show day?
my day was crazy. If anybody knows me, I'm always up early. 4 a.m. I'm already up. I'm getting at it. So 4 a.m. I was up, kind of getting ready for the day. I had a couple meetings out. I want to say in Novi today. So I went ahead and got ready, dropped my brother off, and I went to my my staff training. It's a pretty long day. Got back, drove around, talked to my cousin a little bit, and now I'm here. So
Look at
pretty
that.
relaxing day.
Shout out for being a supportive brother.
Hey, you already know. I'm my brother's keeper.
Yes, I am.
I'm my brother's keeper.
So, on this lovely episodes of episodes,
Yes, sir.
we have a lot to talk about.
Let's talk about it.
I wrote down some notes as I was shooting my other or producing my other, well, not my other, shooting my other project, the Wealth Exchange, coming February 14th, 13th, February 13th.
13.
I'm working out the kinks with that. It's a Sam Cannoneer production. Got my lovely homegirl Krishana, who I'm working with closely because she's she's a straight to the schedule.
Mm.
So, I gotta mold her into like fun. Like this is a podcast and you want
Yeah,
people to enjoy
just
themselves.
kind
So
of kick back and relax.
yeah. So I
I feel
had a
that.
session with them today and they're on the right track. I'm actually looking forward to this.
Bet it up, bro.
You
Bet
know,
it up.
for another podcaster or podcasters to trust me when I'm still technically a fledgling in this
Yeah,
to produce their show, pretty sweet.
you out here.
I'm trying.
You out here.
Your boy is
You're
trying.
not even trying. You doing, bro.
The facts.
You doing.
Hard facts. No dice. Um, with that being said, today we want to talk about first and foremost how strongly we are pushing the efforts to raise suicide awareness.
Yeah, bro.
Definitely.
Yes, let's talk about it.
And you are already head first into that.
Yes, sir.
So tell the people how you're already, putting your semi strongest foot forward so far in that.
Yeah, so I think I want to say at around like 2017, I really started advocating for suicide prevention and awareness. So basically, for people who don't know, like I went through a lot of depression, I went through a lot of anxiety, I went through a lot of stuff. There were moments in my life where I felt like that I really wasn't worth living. And trust me, like I've tried before to take my own life. And now I'm in a position where I can give back to other people. And so through one nonprofit organization called American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, basically I'm a field advocate for the Metro Detroit area. And so basically my main job is to raise awareness. That can be through events, that can be through probably one of our biggest things, social media nowadays. So like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, Reddit. I'm out there. I'm always doing something. I probably think the biggest thing that I've done so far is usually I'm on Reddit and I go through all the subreddits and I hear people going through depression and going through suicidal thoughts and tendencies. And I try to redirect them to get professional help. And so basically, like, let's say during the holidays, how a lot of people take that time off from work. Basically, I'm on subreddits, making sure that people feel like that they're not alone. And so I'm kind of like low key about it. I'm not the person that's out there like all your celebrities. I love to be in the background and I love to work in the background. So mainly, I think of like right now, I've been on a lot of forums, I've been on a lot of subreddits, I've been on a lot of Facebook groups, pretty much advocating for people to get that necessary help that they need from a mental health professional.
Oh, keys to life.
Oh, you already know.
So again, I love how you have firsthand knowledge
Yeah, and
of what it felt like,
yeah,
and you didn't just like take care of the situation and then went about life. You used it to help and go out and reach others.
yeah. I mean, that's one of the major things to life is you have to give back. Um, and when you've went through something that personal, and that's something that connects with you deeply,
Mm-hmm.
and that connects with so many other people, and you found a way to cope with that, and you found a way to get out of that. I think in a way it's part of your duty also to make sure that you help other people find that light, help other people find that end of the tunnel, because you have a lot of people that don't believe that there's, an end of the tunnel, that they don't believe that there's a light. And so I think for a lot of people that have been through that and have gotten out on the other side, now a goal of theirs when they come to that right state of mind and they're able to give back to other people is to help other people find their way through that too.
Jeez, and it's funny you touched on that because one of the notes that I wrote down here mentions how the low point is not the end of it all.
No.
And it took a lot for me to realize that because I've had a lot of low points. Quote, I'm doing the air quotes, y'all. Low points.
Yeah.
And I just thought my life was down the hill in a handbasket. I'm pretty sure you had the same feelings.
Yeah. And
same moments. But,
I think, oh, you go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead. I was sure about the little like pass the baton real quick. So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's true. And the one thing that I've really come to know is that everybody has their low points and their low moments in life. And that's something. The one thing I always say is you should never go past those. A lot of people undermine those low moments and those low points. Um, Talk about them. Like be in that low moment. But the biggest thing I tell a lot of people in those points and in those seasons is have a community around you. Make sure that you're getting help through that because you could be in that low point, in that low moment. But if you have no one there, and if you are constantly like putting people out of your life,
Hmm.
it's going to get even harder from there.
So, what do you do for, or what do you tell the people who have a hard time opening up to people?
Man, the first thing I tell people, kind of the first thing I did, the number one thing was to be honest with yourself. I think a lot of people when they're going through depression and stuff like that,
Hmm.
sometimes they don't want to sit down and just kind of go through like how do they feel. I think a lot of times people like to push it off or they say like, oh, it's not that bad. So the first thing is having honesty with yourself, saying to yourself like, dang, bro, like I'm really in this situation, like I'm really messed up.
Hmm.
The second thing from there, the second thing that I did is that now um, get around a community. Like for me, I have 5 people who I know, like, hey, this is who I need to go to. Because the second thing is, all right, now you're honest with yourself. You can't do it alone. So then now you have to find people that are willing to go through this journey with you. If you are spiritual, if you're a person like me, I go to God a lot. You know, there's always that prayer, there's always that meditation. But even after that, the second thing is to find a community, find people to help you. Um, and I believe the third thing is please get connected with a mental health professional. A lot of people go past that. I believe the biggest thing that a lot of people misconceive is that other people, like for me personally, like I've been through suicide, I've been through depression, but I myself am not a therapist. I'm
Hmm.
not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. So I can only give you what I've been through. The biggest thing I tell people is please go seek therapy. Please go seek somebody that has been trained in this that can help you out. Because while, okay, being honest with yourself is cool, having that community is great, but you also need that professional help.
Hmm.
And that's something that you can only get from like those therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists.
Oh, okay. It's interesting you say that. Uh, I actually pushed somebody. Actually, this happened immediately, like after my stint with it.
Yeah.
I came in an encounter with someone who had like the exact same idea, and now they're actually back in therapy. They actually took time. I guess they decided that I'm going to go on a vacation from my therapist and not do the proper protocols, and
Mm.
I'm just not going to go. And I had to talk him or her into going back because
Yeah.
their condition was way worse than what I was dealing with. Like,
Yeah.
but I really think it's important that you have some kind of professional on hand or
You
someone
do.
who's trained to handle these situations.
You need somebody.
I mean, it's one thing to have somebody by your side,
Yeah.
but what do you do when they say, I don't know what to do?
That and what do you do when they say like this is enough for me? Like now you intruded on my life.
Right, because it's a vibe. Because
Yeah.
what you don't know it or you don't realize it, but the energy that you're outpouring to someone, they have to get off of them
Yep.
because it's a whole vibe. It's an aura.
You're
That's,
transferring that energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be
it can only be
transferred.
transferred exactly.
Yep.
And people have a tolerance. People
Yes,
have a
sir.
tolerance.
Yes, sir.
You have that one that you can confine to, but they'll have that point where it's like, I honestly, this is far beyond my area of
Yeah.
expertise, and I feel like I'm going to crack because you're cracking, and I believe that something serious needs to happen on your
Yeah,
end.
bro. And I could tell you, like, I've been in those cases too, where like I thought that friends, and I would go to them, and they're like, "Yo, like," because you don't even know what they're dealing with too,
Right.
and you putting like all that on their shoulders, And so I think like the biggest thing is like, yo, you need to go to see a therapist. Like like they're trained for to sit there and to listen to all your problems.
Exactly. They know
And
how to properly transfer the
yeah.
energy that you give them. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Look, you're upset. It's gonna upset me.
Yeah, and that's how you draw people away. That's how sometimes when people get in that moment of depression and
Hmm.
they choose not to deal with that through a mental health professional, then they become energy drainers.
Yeah.
And I think that's a dangerous route that you're getting down when you're, kind of like an Eeyore perspective,
Oh
where
God.
you have that person that's just
Oh,
everything is negative,
the
like
clouds are
yeah, like
terrible.
pessimistic, and it's like, yo, you're bringing like all the aura and all the energy out of everything, and so like that's why we tell people, and that's why I tell people, like, please go see a therapist
Mhm.
because when you get into that moment of like life is just messed up, you're going to start messing up other people's life too.
Mm.
And one thing I've learned this year is that hurt people, which is true. And so, like, I tell people, please get that help because if you don't, and you put that on other people, it's going to show and it's going to affect them too.
It's going to change their whole perspective of how
Whole
they've been
vibe.
doing things. Like that's it.
Yeah. Yes,
Mhm.
sir.
So, oh, excuse me, I didn't bring any water. I came well unprepared. In my defense, I ran in the house from one podcast to
Straight to
handle another.
another.
Exactly. I'm trying to be the hardest working podcaster out of
Out here
Detroit.
working, bro.
I'm working
Out
on
here
it.
working.
But with that,
Yeah.
a lot of people go into isolation out of
Mm,
fear
yeah.
of running people off with their problems.
Mm,
So for those people, because again, we we both had this, I'm not telling squad
yeah. Yeah.
how, because I'm still trying to work on this myself. Brutal honesty, I'm not really open when I'm fully depressed still,
Mm.
but I'm working on it. It's not bad. No, it is bad. I'm not even gonna lie about it. But how do you handle, or what do you do in that event where you just like don't want to scare off anybody?
I think the biggest thing I've learned because I used to be really, really huge on that.
Mm-hmm.
Really huge on isolation. And so I think it always refers back to my number one thing is like being honest with myself. Like letting myself know like I have a tendency to when I am fearful, because it's always that fight or flight response
Mm-hmm.
to go ahead and flight, like retreat. And so the one thing that I've learned is number one, I have to be honest with myself. And that now since I isolate myself, I have to now, and I think the biggest thing I had to learn is realize that it's a work in progress for those things.
Keys.
No one ever changes overnight. And so I realized with isolation, you know, I can't overnight just come to somebody like, hey, I have a problem. I have to constantly try to remind myself, like, hey, you're trying to get out of this. So let's take just one step today. All right. Now that's not to say like, oh, like spill the beans. No, like
Like
it's
it's
to
out the
say,
gate. Like no, I'm not.
no, it's to say like, okay, what can I do today to not isolate myself? And then that's where you get into coping mechanisms.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really huge thing to have. So like for me, I had really horrible coping mechanisms beforehand when it came to retreating into isolation. And so now I think the biggest thing is now I'm learning like, okay, when I get this way, what do I do? How do I do that? And so I think for that person that isolates themselves,
Mm-hmm.
the biggest thing is to number one, like be honest with yourself. Number two, just make a goal. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be huge, but just make a small little goal every day to branch yourself out from that. And again, that all comes with seeing a mental health professional
Mm.
and realizing that that fear is always going to be there. You never get rid of that fear. I've been going through therapy for years now. And trust me, I still get goosebumps. I still get nervous heartbeats when I talk to my therapist. And so for anybody realizing like it's a work in progress, but and I think that the biggest thing and the number one thing I always stick to is you have to be willing to work at it. If you isolate yourself and you don't want to work at it and you're just comfortable isolating yourself, you're not going to get anywhere. Because you have those people that say like, woe is me, I'm depressed. I hate this, I hate that. But then they don't want to work on themselves. There are people that like to be in that moment of depression. And so I think the biggest thing when it comes to any problem that you face with not just suicide, but mental illness, is that you have to be willing to work because it's a fight. And that's the biggest thing I've realized when it comes to that.
Oh. Get some claps going for that one. It's a good word. It's a good word.
Hey, you already know. I'm here.
Yep. All right. Well, so let's bring some light into this situation. But
Let's
first
do
and
it.
foremost, if you are or know someone who is dealing with suicidal thoughts or depression of any caliber and you fear it's dangerous, do not hesitate to tell somebody.
Yes.
Especially a professional. It
Yes.
is serious. It's very serious. And I know, like, in my demographic, because you know I stream, or I streamed and plan on coming back to doing streams. But a lot of the gamers out there were like heavily depressed.
Wow, yeah.
Heavily depressed, especially when there are some who are fighting the vanity department, as I call it. You know, like I play games, but I'm not cute, or I play games, I'm not handsome. Like that.
I feel that, yeah.
So a lot of them go into a state of depression, or I don't know, strip, whatever the case may be, whichever is clever.
Yeah.
But it's really bad, and people don't know about it. I'm still working on the whole gamer suicide awareness technique or tactic, because I really think that that's a demographic that is highly overlooked daily.
Let's work at it, bro.
Matter of fact, what was that one guy? What was the one really big YouTuber? Last year, with the hair, Nintendo streamer. What's his name?
I know who
but
you're
you know who I'm talking about. And
yeah.
He wrote or he made a visual note, like his suicide note.
Yeah.
But apparently it was his second time doing it. The first time he never got help for it. The second time he wrote it and then he disappeared and then they found his body.
And a lot of people be doing this stuff in plain sight too.
Right.
And so you'll see a lot of people that's like, sometimes they be joking about that stuff. Like, I think one of like the biggest things, like, and I hate when people say like, oh, I want to kill myself. And it's like,
you don't know how serious that one sentence can truly get. That's
like,
it's a manifestation.
Like,
it's a manifestation. You're going to keep saying it until you really want to do it.
That, and you don't know like who's around you that might just take that seriously. And they might go ahead and they might try something.
Exactly.
And so like the one thing that I've been learning how to do, and the biggest thing for people that want to help other people going through that, is please don't be oblivious to that stuff. Like when people say that stuff, even when they're joking, like take that stuff seriously, because you never know what somebody's going through. You know, you never know.
Exactly. But yeah, nonetheless, tell everybody, well, not tell everybody, but tell somebody who you know can rectify or handle that situation before you end up seeing them on the 6 o'clock news floating in the river somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Because it's serious.
Yes, sir.
On a lighter note.
The
Super Bowl is in a week or so.
Yes, sir.
We got who? We got the Chiefs and the Niners.
We got the Chiefs and the Niners. We got the best offense and the best defense in the country.
Shout out to my Packers for losing like that. While I'm on vacation, I'm at the room just like pissed.
Man.
Watching this match. It came out, what was the first quarter? 27-0?
It was crazy. I didn't get to see the Packers and Niners, but I got to see the Chiefs and the Titans. Man.
I didn't, you know what? Shout out to the Titans for playing it that close.
Man, a 6 seed.
Yeah.
I really wasn't expecting to get that far.
And they battled in the AFC Championship.
Derrick Henry, bro.
Listen.
Derrick Henry.
I don't want to hear nobody drag Ryan Tannehill or Derrick Henry no more.
Man. And it's so crazy. I like recently got really into football this past like year. because usually I'm into like again like MMA and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But like my work environment, one of their biggest like things that they love is football, and so like I got into like getting all these stats and stuff like that, and um really like just like dissecting some of these teams and like realizing like the Tennessee Titans were not a favorite at all.
Not even by a long shot.
Not at
Like
all.
every game they won, if you gambled, like if you bet on the Titans, you walked away with a pretty good amount.
Man,
Especially if you bet on Tennessee when they played the Patriots. You done probably won like 2 years' salary on that one because the odds were extremely low against
extremely
the
low.
Titans.
Nobody thought they were gonna make it past Baltimore. People like there was a video I believe is on ESPN where they had the Baltimore Ravens 41%. They had a 41% chance of going to the Super Bowl,
Exactly.
and Tennessee destroyed them.
And Baltimore was the first seed, wasn't it?
Baltimore was the first seed.
That's,
I think they came in like 14-2.
they were 14-2, yeah.
14-2, and just man, gone.
That game, I still had no words.
It's
Like
crazy,
I
bro.
watched in disbelief. Like
It was
no.
crazy. It was crazy.
And they were relatively close to going to Florida to play. I think they were shooting for an upset. If the Titans would have made it, nah, I still would have gave it to the Niners.
I would have gave it to the Niners, but
I hate the fact,
that's a heck of a run.
I hate the fact that the Niners are going. I'm so sorry.
I think the best thing we could talk about is that it's not New England.
Yes.
Yes. I think
yes.
from a lot of people that are in the sports, I think the greatest thing that has happened is that New England is not going to the Super Bowl.
Listen, they were you're tired of New England versus whoever is on the NFC side. The fact that they left on the wild card, I think that's what made this year's playoffs, a lot better. Because at this point, you didn't know. And then when the Ravens left, you really had
no
clue
idea
who was
gonna get where.
What was going on the AFC side of things. It was just crazy.
It was crazy.
But who you
even
got?
that Chiefs game with the Texans?
Dude.
Oh my gosh. That first quarter, I believe the Texans were up 24-0.
And then they just came. Didn't they win by like 35 or something like that?
They won. I think they scored, if I'm correct, 41 unanswered points.
After the fact.
After the first quarter, they came back. I believe it was 41 unanswered points.
That's terrible.
Because I believe that I want to say the Titans got a field goal in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a fun fact. So the Chiefs scored so much during that game that they ran out of fireworks every time they got a touchdown. Yeah. There's like this big sign that said like, we're sorry, but like due to the Chiefs scoring so much, we ran out of fireworks. Like, we're sorry for the inconvenience, something like that.
Yeah, they had 41 unanswered points after the Texas was up 24-0.
That is crazy. That's crazy.
They had 41 unanswered points in between two quarters.
And for people that doesn't mean like that don't know what unanswered means, it means the Texans didn't score anything in those two quarters.
Not even a safety. Like there was no field goals, there was no touchdowns. There was
41 unanswered points.
And they went on to lose by 20. KC beat them 31-51.
It was bad, man.
It sucks.
Bad.
I hate to see that locker room conversation. Really?
Man.
What happened in 3 quarters? What? Did you all go back in the booth at halftime? Was just like, you know what?
Just screw it.
I think we're done playing football this season.
There's a meme going out of Kelsey and Mahomes looking at each other saying, like, hear me out. What if we got the Texans to go up like 21-0 or 24-0 during the first quarter and we just storm back? And I was like, dude, that's kind of what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
Because every possession that they had, it was like a touchdown, I think, for like 6 straight possessions.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. looked like 7.
7 straight possessions.
Looked like 7, and they blew a safety or a 2-point conversion or something like that.
Man, talk about a blowout, bro.
How?
Mahomes.
Yeah.
Mahomes,
How?
man.
How?
I'm starting to recognize that kid is crazy.
So,
Who do I got winning?
Yep, Chiefs or Niners.
Chiefs, man.
Ooh.
Chiefs.
Ooh.
Chiefs.
See, that would go against everything I said at the beginning. Because remember, I said when the playoffs started, I'm like, this is going to be the NFC's year.
Yeah.
I don't like the Niners. I don't. I cannot do the Niners. Only because how they played against Green Bay was disrespectful. You don't do my
Man.
team like that.
You want to know something about Green Bay, though?
What?
Is I heard that, like, Green Bay really, really knows the rules of the NFL playbook.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are things, like, if you go on YouTube and look up, like, people actually, like, exploiting the rules of the NFL
Mm-hmm.
and, like, creating loopholes,
Mm-hmm.
the Packers are really good at that.
They play football.
And I was like, well, hey.
Let me rephrase. The Packers play chess using
There you
football
go.
players.
There you go. There you go.
That's Green Bay. Shout out to Green Bay. Y'all had a good season.
There you go.
Y'all did good.
Since we're on sports, we cannot go without talking about Conor McGregor.
Ooh.
Man, and Donald Cerrone, and how quickly McGregor ended Cerrone in 40 seconds.
Oh, you mean the commercial break he ran during a UFC pay-per-view?
Literally. Like,
okay.
I think the other dominating fashion other than that was probably Jorge Masvidal.
Oh,
When he came in
the
with
knee
that
of death.
flying knee to Ben Askren.
The knee of
The
death.
craziest thing in the world. I loved it. I loved it.
Shout out to Connor. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back, fella.
As much as people don't like him,
I don't know why. He got really good technical prowess.
he's a beat. I think because he's cocky though.
True.
He's very cocky.
But it ain't bragging if you do it and you back it up.
You back it up though. You back it up. Like, and I think the crazy part is like, he got paid $3 million
Mm-hmm.
for that fight. He got paid $3 million to work for 40 seconds. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm out here fighting for 600.
I'm out here fighting for my paycheck.
Listen, this man went like up, drop him in 46 seconds. Make sure
Boom.
that check clears, Chief. I'm out.
I went in the briefcase, all $100 bills.
Exactly.
But yeah, Conor McGregor is crazy, bro.
Not to mention, he gave Floyd a run for his money.
Oh yeah,
That fight was good.
People really underestimated Conor.
But that's because they forgot he had a boxing background.
Yeah, that, and Conor's a good striker.
Yeah.
He's a really good striker. And he was winning some of those rounds. But I think what got Floyd over the top, and I was like watching, I think one of the interviews is, man, Floyd has amazing cardio. Because boxing is one of those sports where, like, you have to train in cardio.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be willing to go the distance, go all 12 rounds. Because if you get tired in, like, that 9th and 10th round, you're going to get knocked out.
But I think that's what a lot of those fighters now don't train themselves to do. Like, with the exception of Deontay Wilder, if he was to actually get a fight that would go all the way.
Yeah, that dude, oh my gosh.
Him and, Tyson Fury?
Tyson Fury, their rematch.
When?
I believe it's in February. It's soon.
Oh,
I want to say it's a month away.
That's some good-ass boxing.
I tell you, the best boxing, man, heavyweights, dude. Heavyweights are really getting at it. I want to say, like, between Wilder and Fury,
Mm-hmm.
Fury.
Yeah.
Fury's a lot more technical.
Yeah.
He outclassed him in the last one, but Deontay Wilder has that knockout power that's just it's uncomparable.
Oh, if it hits, it hurts.
Yeah.
Like you seen
You're out.
cheeks rattle and faces just jerk.
Literally, faces jerk. Like you're done. You're done for. And I think that is like, if I were to do anything in the world, I would love to do boxing.
Really?
Deontay Wilder. Oh my gosh. If I could choose what I really wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
besides like my passions, if I just was like whatever, I would love to be like a boxer, like a sports combat person. I would love it.
I almost trained. Well, I did partially train with a guy who. Do you remember this show called The Contender with Sylvester Stallone?
Yep.
He fought on the Contender, and I think he finished like the semis, but he was from Detroit. I think his name was like K9 or whatever.
Mm.
He used to stay in our apartment complex, and he used to give out free boxing lessons.
Wow.
That's what kind of motivated me to take judo. But yeah, I almost did it.
I think that everybody should take some type of self-defense class, especially our women, so they can learn how to defend themselves. That's a big thing for me.
That's a big thing, period.
That is a huge thing. I believe everybody should learn some type of boxing, some type of judo, some type of jujitsu, so that everybody, but especially our women, can learn to defend themselves.
Especially with all that's going on out here. With
Yes,
these.
sir.
Like
Yes, sir.
I believe that, and I believe that they should be taught for free. To be honest, like somebody should step up and just like dish out hands throwing classes for women.
Yeah, if I had the money to,
if I had the dojo and the expertise, I'd do it.
I'd drop a facility in a heartbeat.
Yep, I'd do it. Put that on my to-do list when I make it.
In a heartbeat.
And it has to be all women. Because the men are already outclassed with, natural barbaric strength.
Yeah. But you get some women when in that right mindset, oh my gosh.
Yeah. They find
I wouldn't dare touch them.
them.
Wouldn't dare touch them.
Nope.
But yeah, everybody, self-defense, one of the best things that you will have.
Yeah, that's why I took up judo. Judo requires the other person's actions.
Yep. And
that's why I really liked about it, because I didn't have to strike first. I was never really a strike first individual. But if you swing at me, I know how to put your elbow on your forehead or something like that.
Man, I was a person like strike first. Because if you strike first, and like this, like while I'm still in school, I ain't getting in trouble. True. And I could just go to work on you.
Exactly.
I can work from the head all the way down to the toes. Like don't even worry about it.
Right.
I got you.
Do you need your ankles, cuz? Because I'm about to snatch them off.
I'm about to snatch them, bro.
Listen.
Snatch them up.
Exactly. Well, we done sat here. We talked suicide awareness.
We have.
We talk sports.
We have.
You know what's coming next, right?
Let's do it.
You know.
Let's do it.
How do I always end these shows off? Gotta pop up these 21 questions.
Let's go for it.
You know what? Shout out. Hold on. Let me cut the applause. Shout out to the people who listen to the 21 question segment. It is officially everybody's favorite part of the show.
Really?
Yes. Every guest so far, well, after episode 5 or 6, when I started doing them, is looking forward to the 21 questions. And I change the sheets every time. Pause. No, where's my scratch at? There it is. Pause. Pause. I give you a record. You probably have set the record. It's the only time I had to use the scratch.
Really?
Yes.
It's the first time for everything,
It's
bro.
the first time. You are the lowest scratched guest on the show. Chris, I hit the scratch probably like 7 times. And that was during the 21 questions. We're not even going to talk about Auntie Spirit Animal.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Your mom was off the chain.
Oh, man.
It was pause every now and then. Like, wait a minute. Especially with the motorcycle. I'm going to get a motorcycle. What?
Bruh.
We're
going to talk about this off the record.
Say who? She wants to come back to rectify her decision.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, for those who've been living under a rock and don't know how this works, 21 questions is where I ask the guests on my show 21 questions. And they give me their opinions on the question. They usually support it with a thesis, what have you. It's really fun. Where is my music? Is that the music? That's the music. That's the official 21 questions music.
Hey.
So.
Let's do it.
Art thou ready?
Let's go for it.
Your first question. What movie or book do you think is ridiculously overrated?
I want to say the movie I really think is ridiculous, ridiculously overrated.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I think for me, I'm not a huge fan of the Rocky movies.
Really?
Not a huge fan of the Rocky movies.
Pray tell.
I don't know. I just think like you have those movies in American culture
Mm-hmm.
that's just way overrated, and everybody refers to them. And I think and this coming from a person of like sports combat, I think I just never got into Rocky.
That's what's actually taking me by surprise. I'm like,
Yeah.
Rocky is the epitome of a boxing flick.
And I guess like it's like no shade. I just think it was really overrated. Because you have people like, oh, you haven't seen Rocky? Like, no, I haven't. I
haven't seen any of the Creed movies,
I haven't seen Creed either.
but I've seen
Yeah.
all the Rockies.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of the Rocky series.
That's interesting.
Wasn't a huge fan.
So you're actually traveling soon.
Yes, sir.
So this question is very important.
Let's go for it.
Who would you most like to sit next to on a 10-hour flight, and why? Anybody in the world.
Anybody in the world?
Yep.
Andy Mineo. Yeah, Andy Mineo for sure.
Because I already didn't know that answer.
Andy Mineo is my favorite artist of all time. For people who don't know, on a 10-hour flight, Andy Mineo for sure. We would just dissect every album and every song he's made.
Wow.
Yeah, there are probably a few artists I know their songs word per word.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Mineo, Lecrae, and probably Linkin Park.
You actually got the chance to shake hands and converse with Andy Mineo during one of his tours, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Every tour Andy Mineo's went on, I've been at all of his shows.
All of them.
All of them.
I need fans like that when I make it.
Any show that he has came to in Detroit or in the Metro Detroit area, I have attended ever since 2011.
See, that is appreciation at its finest.
There you go.
See, it's people like you that keep people out here actually doing what they do.
I even got it tatted up, 116.
You do. He does. Like if you see his is it on Instagram?
I haven't put. I know. I don't post none on Instagram. I got a little thing going. So for people who don't know, whenever I post something, I only have one post at a time. So if I want to post something new, I delete the last post. Yeah.
You know, if I wasn't promoting comedy and podcasting, I would probably go that route, like today, and then snatch the day off and be like, tomorrow.
Yeah, it's pretty aesthetic when you actually take a look at it.
Looking at his page, like, what the hell? They
But-
get phone calls. Are you okay? Do we need to have another conversation? I'm fine.
For anyone who follows me, I just post memes and Crocs. That's pretty much it.
I told y'all unofficial. Look, he's gonna help me pick my first official pair of Crocs
Oh, you already know. You already
this
know.
year. It's gonna happen. I got to get a pair of Crocs for the summer. Everybody's like, you don't have any Crocs, so now I feel like the odd man out because I don't have any. And I've seen women with Crocs with like the little fur in them.
Yep, we gonna get you straight, bro.
So I'm working on it, y'all. Give me time.
Give us some grace.
Look, I had the chance to get Crocs and got Nike boots. Yeah, shout out to the Nike boots. Look, I'm booing, but on the record, these Nike boots are the most comfortable boots I have ever bought.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, boo your mothers. What do most people think about you that is absolutely not true?
People think that I'm mean because I don't talk a lot. I think a lot of people, because I love being an introvert,
Mm-hmm.
and so with that, there are times where I just do not talk to people, and it's not because I'm mean or have a resting B word face. I just think because I just really enjoy time by myself. So I think if I were to say that's probably the biggest thing is like he's always mad or something like that. That's just my regular face. Yeah.
You have $100 to burn.
Yes, sir.
All of your friends are busy.
Uh-huh.
You have the whole day to yourself, uninterrupted.
Let's go for it.
What are you doing with that $100 bill?
Chinese food and Crocs. That's literally it. Crocs cost about $45. I can get about 2 big plates of Chinese food, and probably some Mountain Dew, and I'm set for the day.
The fact. I love how your answers are simplistic.
Oh yeah.
They are. And yet understandable. It's a new take today. It's a new take. wow, this is a really tender question.
Let's go for it.
If you could be born again and choose nationality, gender, and race,
Okay.
what would you choose and why? Race,
My race, black baby,
gender,
a male,
nationality.
Haitian.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Why?
For no exact reason. That's the first. Hey, these 21 questions. This is popping in my head, bro.
You know, it's something special about this edition. It's almost as if he knew what I was going to ask.
I'm just very witty.
Because you usually get a, baby, I'm a, I might, no, he's just like, straight from the hip.
One thing I've learned is if you want to be funny, you got to be witty.
Listen. Oh, you also got to have a sense of humor.
Yes, sir.
You know, I think that period of comedy is gone.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bernie Mac. I miss him. Bernie was the source of no Bixby, not Bixby, Bernie. Doof. How much do you know about the world outside of your country?
I know a good amount of it. I think the past couple of years, I've been able to interact with people who have lived mainly in Europe. I have friends who currently live in South Korea, Budapest, and England. I want to say in France. I've been to Canada. So I think I've come to know a lot more. And I think the biggest thing I'm learning is how to embrace other cultures. And so I think the number one thing I've learned, and now I have my passport, is to learn how to embrace other cultures. I think the biggest thing about America is that we're so patriotic that we forget that there are over 100 countries too.
Yeah, and it's
yeah,
pretty sad.
It's sad, and so I think I know a good amount. I want to say probably I know a lot about British culture and Indian culture.
Ooh,
yeah, I have a good amount of Indian friends.
All right. Now, oh no. Now I found some really more savage questions.
Let's go for it.
I know this is right up our area of expertise.
Oh, you already know.
So it's time to put some gas on this one.
Gas to the pedal to the metal.
First and foremost, what is your opinion on the Kardashians?
Man, my opinion on the Kardashians.
The
Kardashians, eh? It's crazy. I really don't care for them. And it's not like because I just see that so much people flock towards like other people. And the one thing I've learned is like if you don't find that confidence in yourself, people look at other people like gods. And so the biggest thing that I've learned is like there are people that literally get plastic surgery to look like the Kardashians, which is stupid. So for me personally, yeah, I could care. I will never say I could care less, but it's nowhere near my radar in a million-mile radius.
I don't know how to feel about them. I don't know. I think Kanye Kardashian's pretty okay.
Really?
He's all right with me.
Well, hey, Jesus is king, so
Listen.
you know.
And he walks. Remember, when he first came out, he said he walks.
He walks.
That's right.
Jesus walks.
Do you like your name and why?
I love my name. The reason I love my name is because I own my name. So what I mean by owning it, Joshua. So Joshua means God is my salvation. Nashon means diligent observer. Walker means one who has a chosen path. And so I love my name because I live out my name.
Wow.
And so the one thing that no one can ever use against me is that you don't live out your name. I live out Joshua Nashon Walker. And Yeshua, and because Yeshua sounds awesome.
Yes.
And Yeshua, for people who don't know, is a Hebrew version of Joshua. So yeah, I love my name. Wouldn't change it for the world.
All right. Which Friends character do you have watched Friends, right?
I have not.
Really?
If we could change that to The Office, that'd be a lot more cool.
Okay, let's go. Let's rewrite that question for comfort's sake. Which Office U.S. version? Got to be more specific with the U.S. version of The Office.
Yes, sir.
Which character do you relate to the most?
Dwight Schrute.
I knew it.
Dwight Schrute. Because he's weird. He's quirky. He has these weird things going on in his mind. And I feel like that is the person who I relate to the most out of the Office is Dwight Schrute. I love Dwight.
Guilty pleasures.
Chinese food, Crocs.
Is Crocs really a guilty pleasure?
They are because people hate them.
Why?
People hate Crocs because they're just haters in life.
Well, that means that Crocs is doing something right then, right?
Yes, sir. They're doing everything right. There are people, and it's not like a big hate, but it's like people just generally do not like Crocs. I don't know if it's just the holes in them. I don't know what it is, but people be hating on me when I be wearing Crocs. And I was like, yo, like, I don't know if there was something in your life that happened with Crocs that just make you mad, but
I had some knockoff ones when I first moved to Florida.
oh, bro.
And they almost got me tackled down by an alligator.
Nah, bro.
No.
You gotta get the brand. You gotta get the brand
And
Crocs.
I was about to say, in my defense, when I had these Crocs, they were only in Walmart and they weren't the official brand.
I get it.
So they weren't Crocs, they were Gators.
Gators.
I do got a riff. Oh no, that's crickets. I had a riff.
But for people who do not count Crocs as a guilty pleasure, my biggest guilty pleasure is Chinese food and sparkling ice.
Really? Sparkling ice?
I love sparkling ice. 88 cents at Kroger.
It's 88 cents at CVS too.
Really?
Yeah, they got a good brand of sparkling ice.
Oh, you also gotta put it in with your card.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like take $3 and just go get me some sparkling ice.
Keys. Hold on, I got somebody in the back. Hey, you. What's your guilty pleasure? Guilty pleasure. You got to get on the mic. You got to get over there on the mic. So first off, this is Mr. Caramel Apple Man from my Instagram story.
What it do? What up?
So I'm asking Josh some questions.
Okay.
What is your guilty pleasure?
What do you mean by guilty pleasure?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Guilty pleasure.
Just for the record.
Is radio censored?
Mine isn't. This is a Rock
Okay.
Jones project.
Shoot, this is weird.
Pick something, bro.
I like tickling myself.
Snatch the mic
Yeah.
away from him.
But
He's done. Go away. Jesus Christ.
Bruh.
This is what, you know what? Lord. Yo, what?
Wow.
Oh, you want your, okay, we'll talk about yours.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we'll talk about you. You ain't got no people. No, you don't.
I got people.
No, he's not your people because Chris was on my show once. Doesn't it? You don't have any people. Moving on, as you were, good sir.
Hater.
Right. Go on, get. You wasn't playing nothing. Go away. No, I'm joking. Give me 5 minutes. We're wrapping up. Josh.
Yes, sir.
Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Why?
I have a sweet tooth. I've always had a sweet tooth. The biggest thing I love right now is sea salt caramel ice cream.
That's a really bougie flavor.
Yeah, I'm a bougie man sometimes. Sometimes.
You're a bougie man.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes. But sea salt caramel ice cream has been like the biggest thing I like right now. But yeah, I'm a sweet tooth person.
I dig that. What is your favorite breakfast?
My favorite breakfast is breakfast burritos. Eggs with salsa and sausage.
Look, this man's been on a eggs with salsa kick for the past, 3 or 4 days?
Probably just the past 2 days.
That's close.
It's been good.
I'm fairly certain it'll be a tomorrow thing, too.
Probably not, because like I want to get rid of because like that's like a good mood breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
and like sometimes when like you use it so much it becomes like and so I don't want to do it. But I'm gonna probably tomorrow, I don't know, I'll probably just have some hash browns. Probably some hash browns, some eggs inside out. You know, great day.
I dig it.
Great day.
How would you describe your style?
Simplistic. I'm a very simplistic man.
I'm fairly certain that the way these 21 questions are going, that it justifies his answer.
I made kind of like a little, I don't know, promise to myself that I wouldn't be so serious about life if I didn't need to. So I think kind of like my style and everything is simplicity. If people ever see me, that's why I wear Crocs a lot, because Crocs is like a living testament of my simplicity in life. Because there isn't a lot of complex things about Crocs. You literally just slide them on and go out your day. Typically, I don't wear flashy clothes. You can see me in sweats, in hoodies, and shorts anytime. Like, very rarely where I wear other stuff. So I'm a very simplistic person.
You know, your mother came on the show a couple episodes back, and she said that if you were to, like, you know, go the extra mile in your attire preference,
Yeah.
that you be like the sharpest dressed man on the planet.
Oh, I'm still the sharpest person when I want to be. Yeah, please don't get it twisted. I'm still the sharpest person.
Yeah, because I asked her, I was like, it was one of during the 21 questions, and I was like, well, who do you think is the best dressed person around you? And she was like, you, me.
Yeah.
Until Josh pops up, for real, for real.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know how to dress.
I've seen you in your fine attire.
Yeah.
You're a threat. Like, I'd probably have to go get some new threads just to contend with your swag, sir.
When I go to England, trust me, I'll be taking photos.
Okay, all right. What's my man in wrestling? The Jack Gallagher, Gentleman Jack. All right, Gentleman Jack.
Yeah, I know how to show up. I know how to show up. Right now, I'm just being simplistic, but trust me, when I want to ball out, your boy got a budget.
But he'll do it.
I'll do it.
He'll do a lot, and don't have to spend a lot, which is the key.
Thrift store, baby.
Look, Macklemore didn't have nothing
At all.
This man was the original. I want to pop some tags. I got $20 in my pocket. How useful would you be in a zombie apocalypse, and what skills do you possess that will help you and others survive?
I would be very useful in a zombie apocalypse. I believe the best thing I can provide is strategy. I believe it's funny, my cousin Stefan and I, we always said if a zombie apocalypse always happened that we would call each other. We still have a pact till this day.
Really?
And this happened like 7 years ago. Wow. So our biggest thing would be strategy. You have to strategize where you're going. So yeah, I believe that my strategy and my sharpshooting skills would probably be the most beneficial to a zombie apocalypse.
Okay. Now, this question is for all the marbles. What is something that can't be taught but can only be learned with age?
Something that cannot be taught but only can be learned with age is hard work.
Really?
Hard work.
So hard work can't be taught.
I believe so. Like, in a sense, it can be taught, but it also comes with age. And so I feel like that in a sense, it's kind of a catch-22, if you will. Mm-hmm. But I probably want to say hard work. And then I probably, if I go a little bit more serious, happiness. Happiness can't be taught. That's something that you have to feel. That's something that comes with age.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it. That's cool.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So that wraps it up. I think we're gonna close with that, y'all. That's a word.
Hey, you already know.
All right, Josh. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Good sir. Hold on, I gotta get you gotta get the loud applause for that one.
Hey.
Thank you for gracing my show.
Hey, the first of many.
Absolutely.
The first of many.
Would you like to tell the people where they can find you?
Yeah, so basically, I'm on Instagram at JoshyWalk, JOSHYWALK, all lowercase.
It's Instagram. Everything's all lowercase.
Yeah, everything is all lowercase on my Instagram. I don't post a lot, but when I do post, they're memes, Crocs. I'm mainly on my story, so you can always follow my story to see what I'm doing during the day.
He has a pretty enlightening story. He takes really good pictures, and he does do photography. I actually have some pictures that I've been meaning to post that he took of when I did my show with Chris.
Yes, sir. I'm an amateur photographer. I specialize in portrait photography and landscape photography. So I mean, hey, that's where you can find me. 9 times out of 10, I'm an introvert. So please do not be mad or angry if I do not respond very quickly. Just know that a day to you is 2 days to an introvert.
I'm sorry, y'all may hear me snickering in the background. Chris is in the back, and he was dancing. When I mentioned him, he did like a little slow ride, a slow little wobble with the sloppy joint in his hand.
People don't know Chris is my brother.
Oh yeah, I got two of the brothers. I got two left.
What's up, nigglets?
No, this is starting to sound like a little cookout.
And they got lemon crisp Kit Kats.
Lemon, what?
Oh yeah. A fun fact: I love everything lemon flavored. Yeah,
Lemon flavored.
I love everything lemon flavored, bro.
That's kind of rough.
I love. Why is that rough, bro?
I'm not really big on lemon like that.
I feel that though. I feel that.
It's an acquired taste and it depends on the situation.
Why does it say why? Like, why is that rough? And I'm like, I feel that, bro.
Right, but you know, you eat it.
Yeah.
I don't know, like lemon cookies, cool, but like when it comes to like the fancy stuff like lemon meringue pie,
I feel that though.
I kind of sway away from it.
I peep that.
It's a hit and miss.
I don't know. Like, I feel like for me, like like when I'm in a good mood, I have something lemon. I have some lemon going on.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, also, I'm coming out with like a clothing brand, if you will. I wouldn't say an actual brand.
I would say brand. We're making it.
Yeah, I'm just making T-shirts to raise awareness for depression and suicide.
Look, Detroit versus everybody wasn't supposed to be a brand.
Really?
That was just a shirt. These cats got whole stores.
Yeah. So
Yes, it's a brand.
right now, our launch date, if you will, is in May because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So it gives me a lot of time to prepare with Rock Jones. So please be on the lookout for that. So yeah, heck yeah.
I'm all over the place. I need to sit down.
Jack of all trades.
Hey. You know, I mentioned that and it was frowned upon by a lot of people. But
Really?
yeah, carry on.
I think it's good to have that, man. It's good to be a jack of all trades.
It's a lost art, but you know, I've been blessed with many talents.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of successful people nowadays, and they dip their hands in everything. You see a lot of the top people, like I want to say for Drake, for instance, people don't know he has invested a lot in esports. You know, a lot of that stuff. Yeah,
Really?
Drake has invested in the esports scene for sure. A lot of the top people, a lot of successful people, dip their hands in a lot of things. The average millionaire has 6 different ways of income.
I think I'm about too short. I'm getting there.
You getting
I'm
there?
too
though.
off.
You working,
I'm
bro?
getting there.
You working.
Exactly. Well, Josh, it's been a pleasure. Y'all
Yes,
know
sir.
where y'all can find me, of course. I'm on Twitter, Rock Jones on air.
Yes, sir.
It's probably a whole bunch of Pac South tweets on there because I just came back from Pac South. Shout out to Pac South. That was a hell of a weekend.
Yes, sir.
I got to play with professional Army esports players, and I got to mingle with a lot of gamers, and it was fun.
Yes, sir.
I would definitely do it again. Definitely. But
You also talking to the most amazing Smash Bros team right now.
look, I represented with Banjo-Kazooie over the weekend.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know if you play Smash Bros, you do not want these hands from either of us.
It gets pretty critical, I
But
promise you.
That'll be on another podcast episode.
Yeah, I'm waiting on it.
We need one just for Smash Bros.
Oh, look, we got a couple that we need to do.
Oh
But,
man,
but yeah, I'm also on Instagram, Rock Jones Radio, where you can see all my awesome t-shirts, of course. Hashtag Share Game Crazy.
yes, sir.
But on behalf of Josh, this is Heart of Stone Rockefeller Joe saying peace, love, and don't get arrested.
Peace out, people.
Peace.